All right, guys, today I'm going to talk to you. We're going to sip through a little special treat that I got. Are you ready? All right. I know that I get samples from a lot of people, but this one is special. It comes in its own little Ziploc bag. But this is none other than Smokin Rye from Distillery 64. Now, most of you, maybe some of you, most of you might not have heard of Distillery 64. They are a newer distillery out of New Albany, Indiana, and they're doing some really cool things with distilled spirits. Now, full transparency, this is not considered a whiskey. Okay, this is 20% rye malt, right, or malt and rye, or whatever, and 80% sugar. Yeah, it's a sugar wash, a sugar shine, as some would say. So it's moonshine adjacent. And then what Brett over there at 64 did, he took oak chips that you can get from a homebrew store, or maybe he made his own, I don't know, and he smoked them. That's where it gets interesting. So this is a spirit. I don't know if it's a distilled spirit specialty. It's a cross of somewhere between a rye whiskey and a rum. It's pretty interesting. So let's get into it. Now, I'm not going to rate this because this is so unique and so different that I don't want to give it a score, and it's because it's not like anything I've ever had before, right? And so I thought we'd just talk and have a drink, right? So I just did a podcast with them. I said that already, but go check it out because it was like, I don't know if you've ever done this. When you haven't met somebody before, but you've been emailing them, or maybe your friends on YouTube, right? We get that a lot in the whiskey community. I know a lot of you out there. Some of you who comment on the the live streams and stuff like that I do, like Jeff Castle and all of these people, right? Anyway, I'm blanking on other names. Sorry, and thank you, Jeff, again. But then all my buddies like Old Fashioned Ways, Tom the Bourbon Jerk, your drinking buddy, all of those guys. It's a community, but guess what? I've never met these people, right? I don't know who they are. I've seen them. I've seen their face on a screen, right? But it is different when you meet somebody. But that gives me back to the podcast, right? I've been doing the podcast for a long time, over 2 years now. And one of the things that I enjoy about it is having a close enough to face-to-face conversation with somebody. Now, yes, there is a screen between us. Like there's a screen between us right now, right? But it is a little different because I give them the chance to tell their story. And so when I invited Brett on, he did just that. He told his story. And when I was listening to his story, it was like two old friends had connected after not seeing each other for a long time. And that's special. I feel that's special. Hopefully you do too. I'll have the podcast linked down below. Please go check it out. It was an excellent talk with excellent spirits. He brought gin. He brought another rum. Oh man, a coffee rye, which I'm going to do a deep dive on. Yeah, all kinds of stuff he brought over for me to sample. And he's working on a very small still. So like this is the closest you're going to get to commercial moonshine out there in the world. Real stuff. You know what I mean? Not that, what's the one in the jar? Yeah, not that one. Anyway, so on the nose, this guy, it's not smoky. It's sweet. It's very sweet. Almost syrupy. Syrup. Not cloying, but a little syrup. But then there's like a black pepper note. Probably from the rye, right? Super cool. And he's working with different types of yeast and all of the things, nerding out on making spirits, which I love. All right, let's get on the tasting. Man, that's so unique. It's so different. Like it has some rye in there, some spiciness of the rye, but then it's covered. It's like if you were to take just walk with me through this. If you were to take rye, what your typical thoughts of a rye were? The cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, like the baking spice, right? But then also that eucalyptus note and some mint, and wrap it, cover it with sugar. Not just any sugar, it's like a creme brulee topping. You know how they just get sugar and they pour it on there and they light it on fire, like that burnt sugar. And then you get a little bit of that smokiness. So it's like that creme brulee is still hot, It's all of that put together. And the finish, it's really clean and crisp, which is what you want, right? Once you go back for more. Now, this is at 80 proof. So understand that. It is at a lower proof than I normally drink. But it's so nice, and it's an easy sipper. But yet it gives you something there with that smokiness. And the smoke's not off-putting at all. It's really nice. It's like a campfire smoke, like you're eating a smoky piece of brisket or something. But it's not the meatiness of the brisket, just the smoky part, right? Or some hamburgers that were cooked over charcoal, right? You get that little bit of char on them. It's kind of like that. It's really interesting and really fun. And I'm so into when distilleries are doing something a little different. Right, don't get me wrong. I love good bourbons. I love good single malts. I love, all the peaty stuff and whatever. I love all that, right? And there are people innovating in everything. But what Brett is doing over at Distillery 64 with the small amount of space that he has, he's trying to create the best thing he can. I'm not a gin guy, right? I'll say that right now. I'm not a gin guy, but I got to try his gin. Man, it was pretty good. And I drank it neat. And it was pretty freaking good. So if you guys are ever in New Albany, Indiana, make sure you stop by Distillery 64 and pick you up a bottle. I will actually put on the screen, if I can, or down below, I will have a picture of one of their bottles. So cool. The artwork on it is really beautiful. They put a lot of time and effort into their spirits. And it's really cool, and it shows in the glass. So I hope you like this type of content. Like, this is a little bit different, obviously. It's a lot of fun. What they're doing is really cool. And I can't wait to see them further. They are new, like I said, they are a newer company, so I can't wait to see what happens in the future with them. I can see them doing more and more really cool stuff. So y'all stay tuned for that. But I hope you guys enjoy this. If you do, give me a follow, a like, subscribe, do all those things if you want. If you don't, that's fine. And y'all be good. It's getting hot, so please drink water, right? And until next time, keep your spirits up. Peace out.